Our faculty continue to garner the awards that we expect of them, including our 20th Nobel Prize, won in physics by Professor George Smoot in 2008, I believe.
2006.
2006, that's right. Our third Nobel Prize in astronomy and astrophysics, won in 2008 by Professor Reinhard Genzel, and Pulitzer Prize in poetry, won by Professor Robert Hass, also in 2008, along with a whole host of Guggenheim fellowships and Sloan fellowships and what have you. So it is this interaction between our students and our faculty that I think really creates the sort of the cauldron of energy and enthusiasm that really describes Berkeley. But it has to live in a practical world, and so the campus has a socially responsible licensing program that makes new medicines and technologies available to people in need who couldn't otherwise afford them. So, for instance, some important innovations in drugs that combat malaria will be sold at cost in developing countries because of royalty-free licenses provided by Berkeley. Last month, we also opened Satarjadai Hall, which is a magnificent new home for what we call Citrus. Can you help me? Citrus it's the Center for Information Technology Research in the Interest of Society. And it's one of the California Centers for Science and Innovation. And it's really another of the projects that was made possible, in this case, by a very significant donation from an international alum. And then an area where Berkeley has, I think, in the view of many, has become the preeminent institution in the country, in the world even, is with clean energy. We received a grant of $500 million from the energy giant BP. Now, it's important to note that that gift came on really our terms, not their terms. When we won that, it was a competition that they invited 5 universities to compete: Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, UC San Diego, and UC Berkeley. And I have to confess, we didn't really think we had a big shot at it because, we're a public institution and we're seen as being bureaucratic and things like that. So what we did was, rather than trying to figure out what BP wanted, we simply went with a proposal that said, this is what we're doing, this is what we think will have the greatest impact, and the authenticity of that proposal actually is the thing that won a $500 million grant. And I can tell you that research is moving very, very quickly. And when you recognize that transportation fuel accounts for 20% of carbon emissions, it is very likely that work that happens at Berkeley is going to make a major difference in issues of global climate change. And I think all of you can be very proud of that when you think about your Berkeley connections.